would like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
Good morning, everybody, and happy hump day. It is Wednesday. We are halfway there. I've been in here chatting all morning with you guys. First off, before I welcome everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for being here to discuss the case of Harmony Montgomery. I know that on this channel, we talk about a lot of cases that are not considered mainstream. They're not trending. They're not all the haps, if you know what I mean. But we care, we love regardless. And seeing you guys come in means the world. Hello, Walking Dead. Hello, Sarah. Rock and Rolla. Chloe Jade made it in. Sarah made it in. Ms. Chronic made it in. What a name. Avi, that makes the best cards in the world, made it in. Who did I miss? Big T, Brandy. Mermaid's back. We've been asking about Mermaid. We were about to send the U.S. Marshals. She's here. She's here. Hello, Angie, baby. Who did I miss? I saw Bonafide. Hello. True Crime with Shannon Nufflin. DT. I have a little crush on him. T.O. Girl made it in. Hello, Arlene. Angie Gibson's here. We are rocking and rolling. I hear that Bob got into a little bit of trouble on another channel. So we got to keep an eye on Bob today. I had to get on Facebook and summon No Pants Bob over. I want him to change his name to Juicy Tequila Bob. We have Juicy Tequila Bobo, and we're going to have Juicy Tequila Bob. Why not? We also have a very important announcement today. Hello, Snazzy. Hey, Lisa. A very important announcement. Today is Rexy's birthday. So we know what we have to do. We got to light it up for Rexy. Tell her happy, happy, happy birthday. Rexy, I just adore you. Your humor, your no-nonsense, common sense, saying it like it is, and most importantly, I appreciate your friendship. I hope you have the best birthday ever. We're going to be having a members live for the May birthdays in a few days. We might have it on Memorial Day. I might go live and you guys can watch my husband on the grill. We can do a 2-for-1. What are your plans for the day, Rexy? Besides being here, of course. You got to spend your birthday with CLL, of course. Love you, Rexy. And I do see some new names in here. Let's take a minute, Baptist church style, to welcome everybody. Say hi to your neighbor. You know how it goes. All right. We have been heavily following, I shouldn't say covering, but heavily following the Harmony Montgomery case. Hey, Wendy. How are you, girlfriend? Since January of 2022. You know that I don't let anything go. I don't let it go. And this case has disturbed the hell out of me. The virtue signaling from her biological mother, who decided recovery was more important than her children. You can do both. You can do both. You can get yourself cleaned up and not abandon your children. The failures by CPS that gave Harmony to Teardrop, for those of you new to the case, on the left-hand side of your screen is the beautiful Harmony Montgomery. On the right-hand side is Adam Montgomery. I don't want to insult anyone named Adam, so we call him Teardrop around here. The failure by her supposed stepmother, Kayla Montgomery, who around here, I'll put her on the screen, we call Step Meth. There she is in all her glory. I would never play a song for her on here, I can tell you that for damn sure. Failure by the judge that gave Harmony to Teardrop. Failure by Uncle Kenny, who waited several days after seeing him beat Harmony and make her scrub a toilet with a toothbrush. Well, when they get there and nothing's going on, there's nothing they can do. They can't take your word for it, Uncle Kenny. You're a freaking crackhead. It's one thing after another. Harmony was murdered in 2019 and not reported to the authorities as missing until the end of 2021. Stepmeth here on the screen, she went to jail for welfare fraud. She was still collecting benefits for Harmony. Teardrop, I'm just putting him back up on the screen. Teardrop went to jail early on for abusing Harmony. And this is based on Uncle Kenny's eyewitness account. Well, the charges have stepped up now because Stepmeth is going to jail for perjury, but she made a plea agreement. She's not going to serve her whole time. She's already served her time for the welfare fraud. She will not serve all the time for perjury because she's going to testify against Teardrop next week in his weapons charges. And she's also going to testify, and she damn sure better do it or she's going to be sitting there a lot longer than she bargained for, about the murder of Harmony Montgomery. Harmony has still not been found, but the powers that be in New Hampshire got right on it. Slim said, thank God for Harmony's brother. God bless you, Jameson. If it wasn't for Jameson, nobody would have been looking for Harmony. Let's go through Teardrop's charges really quick. On the screen, you can see Second-degree murder for recklessly causing the death of Harmony Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life. Boy, New Hampshire knows how to phrase things. By repeatedly striking Harmony in the head with a closed fist in Manchester on or about December 7th, 2019. Can't prove first without the body. Charge 2, falsifying physical evidence for purposely altering, destroying, concealing, or removing the body of Harmony Montgomery with a purpose to impair its validity or availability in an official proceeding or investigation in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. Don't forget, at one point, they tore up an apartment in Manchester, New Hampshire, and they wheeled out a refrigerator that they believe at one time had Harmony's body in it. Don't forget that. 3, abuse of a corpse for purposely and unlawfully removing, concealing, or destroying the corpse of Harmony for any part of in Manchester between December 7th, 2019 and March 1st, 2020. And finally, tampering with witnesses or informants for purposely attempting to induce or otherwise cause Kayla Montgomery, or as we call her, stepmeth, to testify or inform falsely in Manchester between December 7th, 2019 and January 4th, 2022. He was intimidating stepmeth not to tell on him. My God. My God. Can it get any worse? CR, who also just gifted a membership, said, I will never forget them wheeling out that refrigerator. Me either. Me either. He is a heinous, heinous individual. And this is actually a rarity for us on here because normally we're talking about these heinous mothers. And don't get me wrong, stepmeth is a heinous mother, and thank goodness she's still in jail. She's going to be there a long time. But let me tell you what, Teardrop is horrible. And as you know, Susan has been heavily vested in this case, and I'm telling you, she knows it like the back of her hand. Let's bring up our friend Susan. Give her a round of applause. Good morning, my dear friend. How are you?
How about you?
Good. You're muffled just a little bit.
I'll move closer. How's that?
There you go.
Okay,
So you
cool.
have to be excited because Teardrop, there is no delay in his trial next week.
I can't believe that he opted to go to trial.
Yeah.
I mean, every adult in this situation has failed this baby.
Every damn
No,
adult. Mhm.
I hate that man.
Every one of them.
They're
Who
going for dancing. Oh,
who
go
do
ahead.
you think, I mean, besides Teardrop, because he's the obvious, who do you think failed her the worst?
The judge?
The judge.
Yeah, he wanted to clear his death so he could retire.
Mm-hmm.
He could not have looked into the background of this. He did not, in any way, shape, or form, put her first. And it just angers me so bad.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't it very telling when the governor's report came out and we found out that Crystal, her biological mother, was lying?
Don't get me started on Crystal. I hope she's clean. I hope she stays clean. But she failed Harmony first.
Mhm. She failed her first. Excuse me. You want to go get well, you want to go get off the drugs or whatever, you can do that and you can still take care of your children. You don't serve them up to the government.
That's right.
Ridiculous.
And then want a virtue signal that she's done everything she can.
Rock and Rolla said Crystal loved all the attention, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
Absolutely sickening. Good morning, Izzy. Good morning. Let's look at this from yesterday. Compromise reached in Adam Montgomery's witness list. Trial will not be delayed. Now, my heart about fell out of my chest when I saw this, and I'm like, what compromise? Because
Yeah, what
I want every charge possible and the maximum put on him, because I'm not quite sure they're going to be able to find Harmony. What do you think?
Not without him telling. Or
Not
somebody
without
who knows. He's still got friends on the outside. I saw the guy he was nodding to in court. And I'm thinking, what does he know? Somebody knows something.
Oh, they do. Oh, they do. And I hope Kayla is ready to spill it all.
Filing Adam Montgomery engaged in discussion with his lawyer about witnesses who will testify next week, starting with his estranged wife, Kayla.
She discusses the abuse at length. Are you telling on me? You're telling on me. Those are the accusations that the defendant posed to her before abusing her.
The judge adamant that the alleged abuse not hijack the trial, setting parameters on how much and in what context Kayla's testimony can be presented to the jury. Kayla previously lied to a grand jury and says she did it because she was terrified of Adam.
The Harmony investigation, the guns, she connects that to the abuse. She says that's the predicate of the abuse, is him saying, you're telling on me, you're going to put me in prison, you're out to get.
Look at him looking at the prosecutor. Look how mad he is. Look at those eyes. Look at that teardrop.
That and a bag of chips, and he'll have a bag of chips. I don't care about him being mad.
Mhm. We can't hear you, Susan.
I said, that's a bag of chips. But he can see me. I don't care. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfectly now.
Okay. Okay. He just, evil. And that's what Harmony saw.
Mhm.
Poor baby.
Can you guys hear Susan now?
I don't know what's going on with this thing.
It's okay. We get it worked out. Rock and Rolla. Oh, V. Oakley said good morning. Rock and Rolla said that is the face Harmony saw all the time.
Exactly.
Nasty bastard.
Yeah,
You're
he
trying
is.
to kill me. You're cheating on me.
Adam's defense team will offer the jury a different suspect in the weapons theft allegations.
I think that the evidence will come out and show that Ishmael Garcia was involved in the theft of the guns.
Adam Montgomery exchanged gestures with a supporter in court today, a man who says he shared a cell with Adam years ago.
Seems like it meant a lot to him that you were there today, Sean.
Yeah, we
Sean don't have no teeth. Sean, your cellmate, is there to support Teardrop. And now he's talking to the press. It seems like it meant a lot to Teardrop that you were there, Sean. And there's Sean. Yeah. Really?
I'm
Sean?
wondering why.
Good God.
That's the old boy I was talking about. Why would he go to court for Adam?
Why? Look at this. Sean don't have no teeth. They got some sort of steel magnolia relationship. They shared a cell, and he's there to support Teardrop, and Teardrop over his shoulder. What did he talk to Sean about in his cell to do? You see, because Kayla's in jail. He can't go kill Kayla. What is Sean doing for him on the outside?
That's what I want to know.
With Adam years ago.
Seems like it meant a lot to him that you were there today, Sean.
Yeah, we've laughed a lot. We know each other, you know what I'm saying? I know him as a good kid. You know, I've never seen the part of them that they're saying exists.
A good kid. My ass.
Jury selection begins next week. Yesterday, the defense added an additional voir dire question for the jury pool, asking them about their news and social media exposure to the Harmony Montgomery death investigation, and if that will impact their ability to remain impartial in this weapons trial. We are told the jury pool is huge. We're live at the Hillsborough County Jail this evening. Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Huge, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody and their brother wants to put his ass in jail.
He's a good kid. What did they do in that cell? I would did someone get some Vaseline with their commissary money? They gave Roni for
I
fraud.
hope so.
He's a good kid. He killed Harmony with a closed fist by beating her repeatedly. Sean, see this side of him. Let's look at it again. Second degree murder for recklessly causing the death of Harmon Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life by repeatedly striking Harmony in the head with a closed fist.
Sounds like Father of the Year.
But he's a good kid.
I wonder what Sean's charges were then. If that's the measure that you're going to call him a good kid.
Gotta be kidding me.
Whole lot of thoughts.
Snazzy said no Vaseline needed. Okay.
Leave it to Snazzy.
Leave it to Snazzy.
I love her.
Me too. Marisay said he looks like a damn homeless dude with no teeth. Yeah, guilty as charged. That's what he is. That's what he is. But Teardrop is a good kid. You don't have these charges on you, but you're a good dude. Let's go back to the beginning and get a grip on what was going on. This is from our first show in January of 2022. So AJ said, will this trial be live? I'm understanding on WMUR it will be.
I hope so.
Me too, because we're going to watch
her little face. Look at her little face.
Look at
How
her.
could you?
And look at the baby toys in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how Kayla kept her children safe, but didn't care that he whipped up on Harmony all the time.
Yeah. I've said it 100 times. She kept her kids safe.
Harmony. Little Harmony Montgomery was last seen 2 years ago, but she was only reported missing for the first time just 2 weeks ago. In a dramatic development, police arrested her father, 31-year-old Adam Montgomery, for assaulting her. An arrest document says he once boasted, "I bashed her around this house and gave her a black eye." Nancy Grace, host of Crime Stories on Fox Nation, is expressing outrage.
What? Nobody noticed she didn't come back to school? Even during pandemic, even on Zoom, you account for all the children.
This was before that.
Yeah, this was in 2019. And then the pandemic came around in March of 2020. So when she didn't show back up to school in September of 2020, why was no one looking for her? We know Teardrop's not going to say anything. We know Stepmeth isn't going to. And he bragged that he bashed her around the house. I'm tired of people using this pandemic as an excuse. It's a
Me too.
cover. It's a cover.
Yep. And they sure didn't pause them benefits, did they?
Nope. Kayla kept getting them. Rock and Rolla says, I guarantee you Kayla knows where she is. Susan and I have spoke about this at length. And I agree with Susan. I think she's holding that under her cap. And that's going to be her final bargaining chip to not serve the whole plea agreed time.
I agree. No other reason. Oh, I hate them people. It's a sin to hate, but I hate them. I do. God forgive me.
I know.
You treat kids like this. I just don't get it.
The school system never raised a red flag that she didn't show back up the next year. It's been 2 years.
Harmony comes from a troubled family. She was in foster care, but returned to her father in 2019, the year she was last seen. She has a 5-year-old brother, Jameson, who was put up for adoption and was lucky enough to be adopted by this man, TV reporter Blair Miller.
Does he miss Harmony?
We can think of examples where he's been at a park and he'll ask for his sister or see someone who reminds him of his sister. And that's heartbreaking. It really is.
Do you love her?
Yep.
You do?
Yes.
This is heartbreaking video of little Jameson singing happy birthday to his sister, who he hasn't seen for 2 years.
Happy birthday to my sister. Happy birthday to you.
The blonde, blue-eyed tyke would now be 7 years old. Manchester, New Hampshire police are desperate for help finding her.
I'm imploring, I'm asking, even I'll go as far as I'm begging the community.
But the man who may know her fate isn't talking.
Somebody knows something. We just need that person to come forward.
I agree with Mama Kay. On the second show we did about Harmony, Mama Kay came in with a fire, and she said if it wasn't for Jameson, nobody would have looked for Harmony. Mama Kay said he sounded the alarms.
Unfortunately, she's right. If Jameson hadn't spoken up, nobody would be looking for her. We wouldn't know about her. And that's a shame.
Mm-hmm. And we've almost been talking about Harmony for 1.5 years. And it's hard to think we're not done yet.
No, unfortunately.
Now, with this case also is the failure by CPS. You see, there's no interstate compact between Massachusetts and New Hampshire. So when Harmony was taken to Manchester, New Hampshire, which, by the way, did you know that Adam Sandler graduated from high school there? We should have gotten him.
Not.
He could have been the Ryan Upchurch in this case. We should have gotten him involved, Susan.
Is it too late?
I wouldn't mind a Happy Gilmore poster. But the governor called for a full account as to what happened. Well, it turned out a lot of things that Crystal Sorey, who is her sorry excuse for a biological mother, a lot of things she said were not true. A lot of things that were said about CPS weren't true. They did make contact with Harmony, but Adam fell off the radar. Now, that's no excuse for me because he killed her. He didn't have her long enough. Oh, my God. It didn't take him long to kill her. The last time Crystal made contact with her daughter was Easter of 2019. She did a FaceTime and she dangled some dollar store Easter basket and said, next time I see you, I'm going to give this to you. Well, Susan and I have had questions. You didn't see her, Crystal. So what'd you think about her birthday, 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving? Then we have another year of all the same holidays and you didn't see her. What the hell were you doing?
Especially since she had family in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm mistaken on that, but I thought she did.
She does. She has a sister right there. And she was just in Lowell, Massachusetts. You're telling me she can't get up there to go find her daughter?
Yeah. Crystal doesn't get a pass.
No, not at all. But there definitely was a huge misstep by CPS, because that judge in Massachusetts should have never given Harmony to Teardrop. She should have been allowed to be adopted by the same people that adopted Jameson.
I agree. Those kids should have never been taken from each other.
No. She would be alive and she would be thriving right now.
Case of a missing New Hampshire girl. The governor of New Hampshire is now demanding answers in the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery.
And her custody before she disappeared. We've been covering this story now for 7 weeks. The little girl was last seen 2 years ago. WBZ Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca is in studio with the new development. Cheryl.
Well, Lisa Paula, New Hampshire's Governor Chris Sununu blasted the Massachusetts Child Protection Agency, DCF, and the judge who turned the 7-year-old over to her father, who police believe could be involved in her disappearance. Harmony Montgomery hasn't been seen since 2019 after a Massachusetts court gave custody of the 7-year-old to her father, Adam, who's now charged with assaulting Harmony and child endangerment. Harmony's stepmother also facing charges that she collected welfare for her while she was not living in the home. Investigators recently searched the Manchester, New Hampshire house where Harmony was staying with her father and stepmother. Police say they still believe she's alive. In a letter to the Massachusetts top judge, Sununu questioned the decisions that were made, writing, "What makes this case exceptionally unusual is that not only did a Massachusetts judge move to place this child with such a monster as Adam Montgomery, but it did so without a home study to be completed. This home study likely would have proven that Adam Montgomery was unfit."
I love what the governor said. What makes this case exceptionally unusual is not only did a Massachusetts judge move to place this child with such a monster as Teardrop, the governor didn't call him that, that's what I call him, but it did so without, in capital letters, a home study. Didn't even know where the newly released from jail Teardrop was taking Harmony.
And he was a suspect in a murder. He just gave him to him.
He's still a suspect in a murder in Lynn, Massachusetts.
Exactly.
Amy in Boston said that's a 20-minute drive at most from Lowell, Massachusetts up to Manchester. But Crystal said her hands were tied
for
2 years and there was nothing she could do. Gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. And of course, when it comes to things like this, there's a lot of finger pointing, but this comes straight back to that judge, who, by the way, serves on the traffic court in Massachusetts on Tuesdays. He was appointed by a different administration years and years ago. And let me tell you, he should not have his retirement. He should not have his boat. He shouldn't have anything. If you fail one child from the bench, you fail them all. And people say CPS, CPS, CPS. These judges are a big part of the problem with CPS. Let's have an understanding. Please. CPS are social workers. They are social workers. When the judges do whatever they want to do, Start putting these judges in jail. I guarantee it'll stop. Start putting the judges in jail. Take their retirement.
I agree. At the very least, sink his damn boat. And I hope he's on it. That's horrible. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even look at the paperwork. He couldn't have.
No.
He's just more worried about retiring. Clear his desk. Just a kid. Just a number.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So what do they do? So, who are we going to blame? A $36,000 a year making social worker who gives a recommendation to a judge saying no bueno, or the judge that says, no, I'm going to go ahead and let him reunify? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
The governor's report said they didn't want her with him. The judge did this.
And he still sits on the bench. And it's bold.
I wouldn't let him be a safety patrol officer at a middle school.
Nope. Not even a crosswalking guard, whatever you call them.
Let alone a judge. Once your judgment is once people are doubting your judgment, you can't be a judge.
Oh, I'm livid.
You can't be a judge once your judgment is called to question.
What's the use in having a safety net if you don't use them?
Insane. Then you get two governors involved, and everyone's looking at this judge who's like, well, I just wanted to retire early. I need to find that clip where he was running his fat ass into his house with CBS Boston outside.
Yeah. Coward.
That was great. That was great. And the thing is, justice isn't enough. These children should not be dead.
No. And I wonder how many other women. What was that? You there?
Yeah, say that again.
I said, I wonder how many other Harmonies there are that he's failed.
I think they need to do a complete audit on his courtroom, and they need to find every child that has been put in front of him.
Absolutely.
Every file, and track those children down. Rexy just gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Thank you, Rexy. Thank you. Larry came in hot. He's been a member for 3 months. Thank you for your support, Larry. Very nice of Rexy to share the birthday love. It's her birthday. I tell you what, it just pisses me off to no end. So I want you to take a deep breath, Susan, because I'm going to put Crystal on the screen. She's not backstage or anything. I wouldn't do that to you. I don't do anything Jerry Springer style. But I know a lot of people that are new to the case have questions about Crystal. Well, Crystal, who couldn't make it up to Manchester, New Hampshire to find her daughter, shows up all the time for prayer vigil and handouts.
That's the whole problem. Everybody wants a handout on this case.
Yep.
And it's disgusting.
Now, please check out what Crystal wore to the vigil, everybody. I know a lot of times we're just listening, but really look at this clip. Please look what Crystal wore to a prayer vigil.
The biological mother of Harmony Montgomery, the 5-year-old girl who police say was murdered by her father. Crystal Sorey has said very little publicly since her daughter's disappearance. Today, a vigil was held for Harmony in Manchester, New Hampshire, where loved ones shared hugs and memories of the little girl. And her mom explained why she dressed in a Minnie Mouse outfit for the occasion.
I figured after everything that's been happening, that I would go for Halloween as her favorite character, and I'm her favorite person, so it seemed right.
Crystal Sorey reported her daughter missing last year, but police believe she was last seen in 2019. Last week, her father, Adam Montgomery, was charged in her murder. Dressed in a Minnie Mouse outfit for the occasion.
She's sick.
So you couldn't drive up there. You know where Adam was living, to go find your daughter, to go get the police and say, come with me. But you can drive up there in a Minnie Mouse costume to a prayer vigil, and people are handing you wads of cash
and flowers.
Bonafide said some things you just don't do, and this is one of them.
Amen. And she's a mother.
She's a mother. Yeah. Thank you, Carol Claus. She just gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. I guarantee Carol doesn't have a Minnie Mouse costume on right now. This is horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Corey said it's effed up. Yes, it is. Sonia said, how the hell would she know what her favorite character was?
Amen, Sonia.
How would you know? You haven't seen her since she was 8 months old. How do you know? From that one time you FaceTimed with her with the Easter basket that she never got? Gotta be kidding me. Who the hell does this?
I figured after everything that's been happening, that I would go for Halloween as her favorite character, and I'm her favorite person, so it seemed right.
You're her favorite person.
And I'm her favorite person?
I don't think so. Sounds like somebody's got a little narcissism going on.
I'm her favorite person, and I showed up to a prayer vigil dressed as Minnie Mouse. Whether she liked Minnie Mouse or not, I don't know. And I'm her favorite person. She's out of her damn mind.
Harmony doesn't get to go trick-or-treating.
No.
Better not nobody say that we're victim shaming either. She is not a victim.
No, the only victim here is Harmony.
And Jameson. Ugh.
Sick.
Ugh.
Annette said, happens every time a child. Where'd you go, Tiffany? Tiffany had to go. Tiffany screaming. Is she crazy? I know, Tiffany. Can you believe that? Well, Yanka said, guaranteed you're not Harmony's favorite person. Harmony did not even know you, psycho. Harmony didn't know you. She couldn't have picked you out of the lineup. You dumped her off to go to recovery. Her and Jameson. You let Jameson get adopted, but you couldn't do anything with Harmony because Teardrop got out of jail and reunified, and you didn't step in.
He was still in jail when they started the reunification.
100%. Now look at this. I know Susan's blood pressure is already up in her earlobes. This is the body cam from when they came across Teardrop in the Walmart parking lot, living in the car with a new girl.
Oh, goody.
Pat K said, I still want to see the Easter basket. Me too, because I have a feeling the Easter basket story was yet another lie of hers.
Something she gave her other child, probably.
If she hasn't lost that one already.
I hope she can be a good mother. I really do. But I doubt it.
No. Now, Jameson's fathers, they do have pictures with them together at the park with her, and they let her see Jameson and stuff because they're good dudes. They are.
Mm.
I just hope that they're not doing anything financial for her.
Yeah. Because that's about all she's worried about.
Showing up in a damn Minnie Mouse costume. All right, check Teardrop. He is actually, this is his living room door because he lives in the car at this point. Step Meth had already moved in with her mom, with her kids. At this point, she knows Harmony has been murdered. And would this be his kitchen or the living room? You tell me, Susan.
It might be the sunroom. I don't know.
The billiard room. So he opens up the billiard room.
His man cave.
Okay, we'll go with that. The man cave. He opens up the man cave to talk to the Manchester police that are knocking on his windows. Very rude of the police to go and knock on someone's house windows.
Kind of early. Looks like he's just waking up.
Yeah,
Hadn't had his first cup of coffee.
I know. Stepping out onto the patio, isn't he?
What? Adam. This police body cam video obtained by.
I love when he goes, What? What are you doing knocking on my door?
News 9 Investigates was taken on December 31st, 2021, the day Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony Montgomery. On top of your head. This was the first interaction between Adam Montgomery and Manchester police after officers located him sleeping in a car in Manchester's Wolf Park.
You mean sleeping in his house? Okay, so they do let him get into the back seat and get a hoodie to put over the Coors shirt. It doesn't say Coors Light, so is he a banquet beer drinker? Do you know, Susan?
No, I don't.
It says staff on the back, and we know his ass doesn't work. I think he stole that t-shirt.
I think you're right.
I think he stole that t-shirt. All right, so there's the police. Heavy presence there. They even have an unmarked car. So they wake him up from his slumber. I don't know where Kelsey was at the time. She is deceased now. That's a different story.
It seems like death follows him everywhere.
Teardrop could mess up a brand new crowbar. Teardrop could mess up a wet dream. Anyone that comes around Teardrop, they're doomed for.
Yeah.
In the video, officers ask Montgomery about his daughter's whereabouts.
We just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. You're not in any trouble right now that I know of. Okay. You have no warrants. Okay. So, where's your daughter so we can check on her to make sure that she's okay? Right now, I have nothing to say to you guys. But that's not what I'm just asking. Okay, where she is. I have nothing to say.
The interaction lasted.
Listen to him. I have nothing to say to you guys. I have nothing to say to your guys. And they're like, look, you're not in trouble. We don't have a warrant. We just want to know where your daughter is. I have nothing to say to your guys. I have nothing to say to you guys. Well, here's the thing. When the police ask you to produce a child, you do have to.
Yes, you do.
We have a new name for Crystal. V. Oakley said Minnie Meth.
Oh, that's good.
My God.
Lasts about 45 minutes before Montgomery is sent on his way. Police track Montgomery down again later that day.
Okay, this picture, I tell you what, I would love his mom, I hope, has this on the mantle. This is as he's going into the bar to get a beer and some cigarettes, and they follow him all around Manchester. All right, he's just trying to go in, get him a brew, and they follow him into the bar. So he said that the police were harassing him. What if they were in there to get a cheeseburger at him? Why can't they patron the same place as you, Teardrop? He didn't like that they were putting their hands on him and stuff.
I bet Harmony didn't either.
Yeah. And look at him. He's pissed off. They're looking for Harmony. And he's like, I'm trying to go into the bar. I told you I have nothing to say to you. You already talked to me for 45 minutes at my house at the Walmart parking lot.
Who gave him the cigarette?
Oh, he had him on him.
But he's in handcuffs.
Let's look at this again.
Police track Montgomery down again later that day, serving him with a court order to produce Harmony.
Some detectives want to
Oh, no,
he's just being detained at this point.
5 days later, Montgomery is arrested on charges including second-degree assault for allegedly abusing Harmony. During an interview with detectives, Montgomery is asked several times about his daughter.
This isn't going to go anywhere. Like, this isn't going to stop. So
No, I know it's not.
So either get on the bus now or get run over.
I love these detectives. I love them. Look, this isn't going to stop, Teardrop. He goes, I know it's not. He goes, so either get on the bus or you're going to get run over by it. Listen to that again.
Can I drive?
You can drive.
Cool beans.
Captain Susan's driving the bus.
Using Harmony. During an interview with detectives, Montgomery is asked several times about his daughter.
This isn't going to go anywhere. Like, this isn't going to stop. So
No, I know it's not.
So either get on the bus now or get run over.
Well, I got nothing else to say.
And so Montgomery's lawyers argue that he repeatedly told police he did not want to speak with them, but detectives continued to question him, essentially violating his rights. Prosecutors have said that any statements Montgomery gave were done so voluntarily. A judge, by the way, has not decided if these recordings will be used in court.
Well, we know now that the recordings will be used in court because his
Miranda rights.
His Miranda rights were read to him when they arrested him. So what he said at the car, I don't know if they're going to use that or not, but his constitutional rights were not violated. Now, he's still saying that his constitutional rights were violated. Now, I have a question. Did Harmony have any constitutional rights?
Exactly. He is a piece of crap.
You can say it, girlfriend. We're all adults here.
Oh, I hate that motherfucker.
Woo! Woo! She brought out the mother word.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He just, he irks me to no end.
I know, girlfriend. I know. Constitutional rights. They said, no, everything he said was voluntary. Everything he said was voluntary. Elaine said, well said, Susan. Ava gave you a round of applause. For Sakes Alive said, I know that's right. Let's give Susan a round of applause for saying it like it is. Go, Susan. It's your birthday.
Y'all are crazy. You shouldn't encourage me.
Remember that one show when you were hoping the boat would run over the judge, and people were
Yep.
like, "You can't wish harm on the judge," and you were like, "Yes, I will. Yes, I will."
Yeah, it can sink and he can be on it. I don't care.
Yep. Oh, you were ready to go. You were ready to go. All right. How's your blood pressure, Susan?
I'm all right. My neck is itching, but I'm all right.
All right. All right. All right. So we have to get to this because a lot of people have questions. Yes, we have Beigefield on the screen. Yes, this is from 2022. She was still wearing beige. Looks like she has like some lingerie on. It's a little see-through around the
Yeah.
shoulder.
Little transparent.
Transparent. Ooh la la, Beigefield. All right. So
I guess it shows off her tan.
it does. It looks great. And I love the filler in the cheeks. I wish I could get that done because, I mean, she's just got great cheekbones. So a lot of people have this question, and of course, we're going back in time as to how Adam got the charges for abusing Harmony. Well, this came from his Uncle Kenny. Uncle Kenny spoke to Beigefield, and he explained what he saw, and she was a little rough on him. Now, Uncle Kenny also had a GoFundMe, which about made Susan lose her mind.
Yeah, it did.
It was for
I'm not proud of it.
and I sent her a link to Uncle Kenny's GoFundMe, and she was pissed.
Yeah, I don't care for Uncle Kenny. Uncle Kenny's looking for some grifting money, probably to feed his drug habit.
Well, his name is Kevin, but Adam always called him Uncle Kenny, so I don't know which way to call him. He's not my uncle. He's not my uncle.
Welcome to Banfield. A second arrest in the Harmony Montgomery case. This time it is the stepmother of that little girl. Kayla Montgomery is charged with welfare fraud for allegedly hauling in 2 years of food stamps money, all while little Harmony was missing. Police say Kayla and her then husband, Adam Montgomery, were claiming Harmony as a dependent, even though the 7-year-old wasn't living with them. Kayla told police last week that during those 2 years, she believed Harmony was living with her biological mother, Crystal Sorey. Kayla believed that because she says back in November 2019, when she was still living with her husband and Harmony's dad, Adam Montgomery, Adam left with the little girl and said he was driving her down to Massachusetts to be with her mom.
Okay, that was
liar.
That was the story Stepmeth stuck to for a very long time. He told me while I was at Dunkin' Donuts working, which is another reason why she's in trouble for perjury, that he took her down to Massachusetts to be with her mother. Okay, here's the question. Then why did you take the stimulus money? Why did you
Exactly.
put claiming benefits on her if you didn't know?
Exactly. Crystal would have been the one getting the stimulus money.
Mini Meth would have had it.
These people are so stupid.
And look at Stepmeth in all her glory on News Nation.
She looks rough. I hope Harmony's haunting them both.
I think about that judge in the Murdaugh trial when he was addressing Alec. And he said, I'm sure Maggie and Pawpaw visit you in your dreams all the time. I hope Harmony is rattling chains over their beds.
Yeah.
Both of them. Stepmeth is no hero because she took a plea agreement and is speaking up. Does not mean she's a hero.
No. No. She's a monster,
That mom,
just like
Crystal Sorey, said she never took custody of Harmony and in fact hadn't seen her daughter since April of 2019, more than 6 months before. So where did Adam bring his daughter? And is that story even true? Nobody knows. And that's the reason Adam was arrested on Tuesday.
He's charged with second-degree assault, interference with custody, and endangering the welfare of a child. So far, he has refused to tell police where his daughter might be. And as of right now, the last time anyone has seen Harmony was during a police visit to her home, a wellness check back in October of 2019. Adam's uncle, Kevin Montgomery, was worried about Harmony after seeing her with a black eye. He alerted the police that Harmony might be in danger back then. And Kevin Montgomery joins me live now. Kevin, thank you so much for being with me tonight.
Okay, again, I have to correct myself. His name is Kevin. Teardrop calls him Kenny. I don't know where that came from. We'll call him Kevin going forward. I don't want to confuse anybody because the case is confusing enough. Now, my question for Kevin is, why did you not call the police the minute he blacked her eye? Why didn't you call them the minute?
I think I have the answer. They were partying. And he didn't want to take time out of his partying to say something. Ugh.
For those of you just coming in, Adam has already been charged with murder. I'll put it on the screen again. Second-degree murder for recklessly causing the death of Harmony Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life by repeatedly striking Harmony in the head with a closed fist on December 7th, 2019. So what we're doing is we're refreshing ourselves on the case because next week he goes to trial for weapons charges, and after he goes to trial for second-degree murder of Harmony Montgomery. And if you guys as people come in and say, well, I thought Adam was already charged, if we can just have a friendly reminder, let me know, and welcome new members. Thank you, Pat. All right, so there is Uncle right there. He was the one that witnessed this abuse that originally, with the case of Harmony Montgomery, got Teardrop arrested. Prepare to have your socks knocked off. If he only had a Minnie Mouse costume on.
Yeah.
First, right out of the gate, have you had any updates at all from police or family members on Harmony's whereabouts?
None.
Nothing at all? No one sharing
No.
any information with you?
Nope.
So
No.
tell me, what made you initially call the police on your nephew, on Adam? What was it that got you so worried?
So I won't get into details, but there was just things that raised an alarm with me. And I called the authorities. And I'll just be clear, I love the police. They're doing everything they can. First and foremost, DSS, or Family and Children's Services, failed my niece here. And that's why we're here today. If they listened in the first place, this wouldn't be happening. And my niece is out there. She has family that love her, aunts and uncles and grandmothers and great-grandmothers and grandfathers. And yeah, we just want her home. And I don't like the public. If you can't help the situation, please don't distract from what the people that are trying to help are doing. The words, the viciousness, everybody wants to be in this story but me. I want to be as far away from this story as I possibly can. But I can't. I have to be my niece's voice. And I'll stay as relentless as long as my body will take.
What is he, a chicken? Who stands out in the rain? Okay, so what the hell are you doing? Go ahead, Susan.
He said The grandparents, weren't they asking, happy birthday, Harmony? Merry Christmas, Harmony? Not one person rang the alarm. Don't tell me that. Oh, he wouldn't be up here if he wasn't looking for money. Oh.
Well, it's horrible. You called CPS. Well, you know, they showed up days later and didn't find anything. If you're concerned, you call 911, or while Adam is passed out, you pick her up and you take her to the ER and say, I just witnessed my nephew hit her.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear these pity parties. I don't want to hear it. She's dead. And everyone is looking for her. They have been looking for her. What did he do with that GoFundMe money? I don't care if he's on drugs or not. That's not my business.
As much as it will take. I know there's a lot of support out there, but there's a lot of aggressiveness, and just back off.
Kevin, can I ask you if you've had a chance to talk with Adam, who is, again, he's your nephew, and Harmony is your grandniece, but have you had a chance to talk with Adam since he's been arrested, or even within the days around his arrest?
I haven't talked to him in years.
Tell me about that.
I kind of want to keep the focus on Harmony here, please. I don't want to. That's my concern. The justice system, whatever happens, all that will take its course. I'm here to try to raise awareness, money with my GoFundMe page.
The money with my GoFundMe page.
Shit. Piece of shit.
She wasn't unaccounted for an evening, for a weekend, for a month. We're talking December of 2019 till Christmas of 2021.
And the grandparents are so concerned that they're putting money on his books. Is that concern or what?
Yeah, Teardrop Senior is. He's getting them Pepsi, beefaroni, ramen noodles. How come he didn't say put Harmony on the phone right now?
Exactly. Where's her birthday cards?
Gotta be kidding me. Sabrina, I put the link up, hun. I'd love, since you're from that area, I'd love to talk.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd love for you to come up and talk with me and Susan.
And I just want to stick the focus on Harmony. I don't want this story to die. I don't want it to fizzle out. I want to talk about finding Harmony. Anyone out there that has seen Harmony, it doesn't matter if it was 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago, anything will help. Any information, any. Just imagine if it was your daughter, your niece, your granddaughter. People know. Someone knows. Someone knows something. Someone saw something.
So, Kevin, let me ask you, because there is so little information and because Harmony has been missing for so long, the only thing anyone has to go on is what was happening right up until the time that Harmony disappeared. And so that's why some of these questions are, as uncomfortable as they are, they're necessary. In the police affidavit, you were very informative about some of the things that had happened to little Harmony before she went missing. And it was just heartbreaking to read the details that Harmony had been, I think one of the quotes is, bashed around the house by Adam, that she'd been forced to clean a toilet with a toothbrush, and that she'd been forced to stand in the corner for hours, to the point where she wet herself. And then there are big redactions, big black marks all through some of the things.
All right, this is a lot to take in. During his
Why
12
didn't he stand? I'm sorry. Why didn't he stand up for her when he was doing it? Evidently, he saw it happen.
Mhm.
She's a baby. A baby.
She's a baby. Kevin had firsthand knowledge of the child's eye injury from 2019. Kevin said that he returned to Manchester in July 2019 after a trip to Florida and observed Harmony with a black eye. Kevin notified DCYF after the fact with a concern for injury. Now, the date of this, I'm confused about, because you don't just call them. If you're concerned about a child, you call 911.
Exactly.
During his 12/30/2021 interview with Kevin, Detective Abel asked Kevin how Harmony sustained the injury to her eye. Kevin said that Adam told him that he had caused the injury to Harmony. Adam told Kevin at this time, "I bashed her around this house." Adam explained that he had left Harmony, who would have been 5 years old at the time, in charge of watching her infant brother while Adam was in the bathroom. Allegedly, the younger brother started crying during this time. Adam told Kevin that he returned and found Harmony holding her hand over the child's mouth to stop him from crying, because 5-year-olds don't watch infants, Teardrop.
Mm-hmm.
Adam told Kevin that he responded by striking Harmony in the face and causing the black eye. Okay.
Something tells me that he said if he starts crying, I'm going to whoop your ass. So she was trying to keep him quiet.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that tells me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Or it's happened before.
So Teardrop goes to the bathroom to take a shit and get high again. Here's the baby crying. Harmony's not doing her duties. And he hits her in the head.
Mm.
And we call DCYF, who are open from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, as opposed to calling 911.
Yeah.
Was that you told the police. Can you fill in what those blanks are, Kevin? What were the other things that you said that have been blacked out?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know what's blacked out. I never seen those reports. I know what I said in the reports, and I stand that I said what I said. And I don't want to mess up this investigation by giving out too much information. The police are working their tails off. I know they are. I talk to them often. And yeah, I talk to them often about any way I can help. Or any details I can remember, we try to go over. And it's just heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking.
Kevin, can I ask, in some of the history that we've been reading through and trying to piece together this mystery, you called the police in July of 2019 because you'd seen Harmony with a black eye. And then it's my understanding, was it you that called the police in October, just a couple months later? And if that was you, what was the circumstance that led to that call?
Correct. So that call it was my mother's house, and we wanted to go there and get some things that my mother wanted to retrieve.
Okay, this is where Susan loses her shit. Because
He'll
call
call
the
the-
police. He'll call the police so him and his mother can get things out of her house, but we don't call the police for Harmony. Go ahead, Susan.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. He protected himself. Oh, I hate these people.
They
And he
called
wants to act like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go. You got
I'm
the-
just, I can't, I'm having trouble putting words together. I'm so angry. He protected himself and not that baby. And that tells me everything I need to know about Uncle Kevin.
Mm-hmm. Slim said needed to pick up our furniture, and we brought the police to do it because we know Teardrop is a bad hombre. What about Harmony? You leave her to fend for herself?
A baby.
And all Stepmeth is doing is protecting her own offspring. She doesn't care that Harmony's getting bashed around the house.
Yeah. I've said it before. Every adult in that family failed that baby. And in the judicial and in family services, nobody cared. Nobody.
Welcome, Dino. Glad you're here. And Amy in Boston, you're right. Amy in Boston said people who put themselves before children are the worst of the worst. Feel free to grab the link, Amy in Boston, and come up and talk to us because I know this case has a special place in your heart. It is disgusting. Had to call the police so him and his mama could go get stuff from the house. But you leave Harmony to fend for herself. And we've been searching for Harmony since December of 2021. Really.
And to check on the kids. And when we got there, we had to get a police escort when we got there to go in and get some of the things.
We had to get a police escort to go there and get some of the things. Hello, Sabrina. Welcome. Can we hear Sabrina?
I don't hear her. You there, Sabrina? Huh. She's muted.
She's muted. She might have to figure out something in her settings.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we have a police escort to go there and get our things. And the police escorted you and your mama there to get your things, but you're telling me that they ignored all of these calls to go check on a 5-year-old little girl. No.
I don't believe it.
No. That is not true. We have a governor's report. So the police go to the house so a grown man and his mama can get some things from Teardrop. But when you tell the police that a 5-year-old's being beat to hell and back, they do nothing? No.
No. I agree. No.
Can you tell me why and what it was that was so concerning that you would need a police escort to enter the home?
There was just conflict there. We had a falling out for whatever transpired previous to that. And so just the safest way for no issues was to just get someone there that can mediate the situation.
So in that.
Okay, so he needed someone there to mediate the situation. Welcome, Sabrina. I think you got it connected, hun. Sabrina. Sabrina, are you there?
Well, fiddly-dee. Try again, hon.
Yep, try again. Maybe if you go out and come back in, it'll connect. It's tricky the first time you do it. Forsakes Alive said, yep, something wrong with that statement that he reported it.
Yeah.
Again, you're telling me that the police took the time to go to the house while you get an old VCR and microwave from Teardrop, but they wouldn't go check on a child. Good morning. Good morning, Unseen Thinkers Life. How are you? No, I don't believe that. Because like I said, I've gone through the entire governor's report.
Maybe they had a falling out, and that's why he reported it to DFC or whatever the heck they call it up there.
All right. Sabrina just said, I can't hear you guys. I just told her to connect her mic. She has to change something in settings. Does this make sense to any of you guys that the police would show up to help them get a microwave and a VCR and a moo out of the house, but they wouldn't show up for Harmony? No. And let's not forget, he reported this to DCF, not to the police, but he had the police there to get what he wanted. Not a good look.
Not a good look at all.
That visit with the police escort, did you see Harmony and did you see what condition she was in?
I did. She looked timid, but that's all I could say on that. I only got a brief look at her.
And was that the last time any other family member that you know of saw her?
At least my immediate family. I'm not sure about his other side of the family. I'm not sure. My immediate family, on my side of the family, yes.
Did Harmony say anything to you on that last visit when you last saw her 2 years ago that might have been an indication that things were really bad in that home?
No, she didn't say nothing.
Was she allowed to talk to you?
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything to be said for her not to talk to me. I'm not sure.
And Kevin, what was the condition of the home? What did it look like when you went in there? This is the home where, you know, this little child was last living at 5 years old.
It just, it wasn't well at all. It just wasn't well.
Can you be more specific?
Hello? Okay.
Did we
he
get
doesn't
that?
want us. I think you got it, girlfriend. Hey, Sabrina.
Hi.
How are you doing? I'm glad you're up here.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm just glad that Teardrop's trial is going down next week for the weapons and everything's on track for the second-degree murder of Harmony. I wish it was first, but he's obviously not going to tell him where she's at.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to go down.
So what are your thoughts on the case?
Well, I think Kayla should be charged equally. I mean, she's getting out in like a few months all because she took a plea deal. And I don't find that very good because she's going to be free.
Now, I heard she had to serve 5 years, but you're saying she's getting out in a few months.
Yeah. Well, like less than a year. She took a plea deal and now she's testifying against him in the murder trial.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I didn't know she was getting out in a few months. I figured they would hold her for at least until the trial got over because there's no guarantee she'll show up and they have to have her.
Yeah, no, I think she's still going to be in custody when she goes to trial. But she's getting out this year, I believe.
Okay, because I heard she had to serve 5 years. If not, it would be 15. But, articles are wrong often. Yeah, I wish that there were stiffer charges on her as well, but without her testimony, I've had to make peace with that.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. There was a hearing yesterday. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first clip that we played.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got in like middle of the live.
Oh, you're good. Forsakes Alive said she's getting out. I heard that too.
Yep. Yeah, it's bad.
It is bad, and she's going to reoffend because she's going to meet another dude like Teardrop. She's going to get back into the drugs, and she's going to be back in the pokey.
Yep. Yep. And I hope she doesn't get custody of her kids again.
They're with her mom, and I don't think her mom would turn them loose for a minute.
Oh, I pray to God not.
They're doing great from what I understand. Yeah.
Are you from New Hampshire or anything?
Me? No, I'm from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Oh, where'd she go?
Uh-oh, we lost Susan. I got to put the link back up for Susan. She lost signal. Yeah, I think there should be a lot more charges around, but we're lucky to have what we have with no body. Because anytime an attorney general or a district attorney will take something to trial without a body, we have a real ballsy attorney.
Yeah, his attorney, Adam's attorney, is like really just dumb, in my opinion. Like, she talks really, really slow, and like it doesn't seem like she has all of the facts straight, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like she's gonna get like trampled over. I feel like if she even does have evidence that like Kayla is guilty in either of these trials, that is just gonna be pushed over because of her lack of like intelligence.
Yeah, and
Well, I don't want him to have an appeal.
No, me either.
I hope he gets a fair trial.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd find the evidence on that first murder.
Me too. In Lynn, Massachusetts, he's still a suspect in that. The parents of that victim were like, take care of Harmony first and then get to my child.
Well, I commend them.
Me too. I don't think I could be that selfless.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, why Harmony? They had like 3 other kids at the time, and then Kayla got pregnant with him and then had another kid while Harmony was missing. That's why I don't trust her. Like, I have no trust for that woman.
She protected her kids.
Yeah, but to watch something happen to her husband's daughter, like, how can you do that? That's just...
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Well, and Crystal, my understanding is, if I'm being told correctly, she's lost her 3rd child. So Harmony's been murdered, Jameson's been adopted, and I think his name is Josiah, is now with the system.
Are you kidding?
The kids are probably better off that way. I mean, in some situations, obviously not Harmony's, but like Jameson's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jameson's doing great.
Yeah.
Jameson's doing great. My thing is, if you blow it with one child, you don't get a chance at another.
Right.
That's when we need to bring people into the hospital and say, he's getting clipped, you're getting tubed.
Right.
You guys are done. If you
I'll agree.
Keep up with one child, you don't need any more.
Right. I feel like Crystal has some issues, obviously, in her own head, and I just feel like she can't overcome them. She can't be strong enough to overcome them, but I mean, it's her fault for keep getting pregnant. It's just sad for the kids.
Yeah.
Time to put the kids first.
Right.
That's just the way I feel about it. If you're a piece of shit and you lose your kids, you can get clean. That's fine and dandy. But you don't get another bite of the apple, as far as I'm concerned, to hurt another child.
Right, I agree.
I mean, our taxes are, we pay enough. Why are we supporting all these kids when their own parents don't give a shit about them?
And we're supporting the parents too.
And we're supporting the parents too. You can't trust them to have birth control. You fail one child, you're done.
Yep.
When you get the money, you can have your vasectomy reversed and you can have your tubal reversed. If you want a child that bad, you'll do it.
Yep.
I know that would never be legislated, but come on, how many children to these vagabonds are we going to lose?
I'm from New Hampshire, and people in Manchester it's just a rumor. It's not true, in my opinion. But people have been saying that Adam, gave Harmony to his biological mother because, nobody knows who his mother is or anything. And all of his family is in Florida, his aunts, his dad, Kevin's now in Florida. So that's what people in Manchester have been saying, but there's nothing to back it up.
I don't believe that for a minute.
No.
Nope.
No, she's dead, and he has hid her out. And let's face it, she's a tiny little girl. So by the time anybody started looking for her, the decomposition is insane. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but that's the truth.
Sad reality.
Sickening. All right, here's the history of abuse according to Adam's family. Uncle reported black eye in 2019. A strange wife said she saw a black eye. That would be Crystal. I got to turn off the closed captions. Brother suspected abuse. Neighbors worried about living conditions. All right. CPS are social workers. You have to call the police. If you're working with a child, you take them to a hospital. You see a child with a black eye, especially one that already has an eye injury, you get them medical help. They're not going to leave that hospital until it's investigated.
Yeah, I would rather not comment.
I know this is difficult for you. I know these questions are tough. I think everyone who's watching just wants to get as much information as possible to piece together this mystery and hopefully lead to finding your niece and solving this awful mystery. There are more children, 3 other children by Kayla and Adam. Those would be half siblings of Harmony. Do you know where they are staying tonight? Because both Adam and Kayla are now in jail. To our knowledge, are not able to make bond. Adam obviously facing these related charges, not to her being missing, but to child abuse and neglect. And Kayla now facing charges for fraud, for still collecting the food stamps for the last 2 years, even though Harmony's been nowhere to be seen. Where are their 3 other children tonight?
So from what I believe, only from a news interview from the mother, Kayla's mother has them.
Kayla's mother. So is that a safe environment? Do you know anything about her?
No, I don't believe I don't ever remember meeting her mother, but it could have been once, but I'm not sure.
Did you have any concerns about Kayla? I know you had your concerns about Adam. You called the police, but did you have any concerns about Kayla?
Kayla and what? Did I have any concerns about Kayla with what?
And how she treated Harmony and what Harmony's circumstance was living with her?
I just don't want to.
I know it's difficult, but it's important
Yeah,
information.
it is.
You know, when people are trying to figure out where to look, where to think, what clues might have been going on before she disappeared.
I understand that, but that's my purpose. That's my purpose, is to raise awareness on how to find her, who might have seen her, and that question has nothing to do with where Harmony may or may not be today.
Can I ask you this difficult question, Kevin? And I think it's imperative because the way you're speaking, it sounds like you believe that Harmony is still alive. I think everybody wants to know if, you know, people who knew Adam or people who know Adam, and certainly that's your nephew, if you think he may have killed her.
I would not answer that. I'm holding out hope that we find and bring Harmony home safe.
What's in your gut?
My gut tells me there's always hope until you tell me there's no hope left to have.
I know this has been a tough night for you, all things considered, the weather as well. But Kevin Montgomery, thank you so much. I know you're.
Well, the truth is, there is evidence that Harmony Montgomery is deceased. So
Unfortunately.
she's not living on an island. She's not with her grandparents in Florida. The FBI has checked all of that out. She never went to her mother's. They've had pop-up searches in different areas. The charge is Adam
Murder.
repeatedly struck Harmony in the head with a closed fist in Manchester on or about December 7th, 2019. Now, with that being said, when Stepmeth takes the stand, she is going to detail what happened. Where he took her, I don't know, but I have a feeling Stepmeth knows.
Oh, yeah.
He's holding out. What do you think, Sabrina?
Well, it's just hard. Like, she's lied to the grand jury. She's lied to so many people. She kept the secret for years. I mean, how is this woman going to be credible? Like, I don't trust her. But I mean, I see what you're saying.
Thank you for your honesty, because I worry about that too. I worry that even the stupidest, and that's not even a word, the dumbest defense attorney is going to slice her up and say, she took a plea agreement for perjury. How do we know she's telling the truth and we don't have Harmony's body?
Right.
I do worry about that. She's not
And
credible.
They're just like, I don't even know what biological evidence they have. They haven't released that yet. But how do they know that he like struck her in the head and killed her? Because that's what Kayla said. They're going off of what she said, unless there's like but they don't have her body. They can't say that he struck her in the head and killed her if they don't have her body.
Well, without her testimony, they said there's biological evidence from that Union apartment that shows that Harmony is dead.
But what's to stop his attorney from saying that she did it?
I know. I worry about that too.
I feel like it's just maybe blood in the apartment. It's not body parts, I don't think, because
no, not body parts. They can detect human remains.
Right. So no, so Kayla clearly said that he punched her, and she ultimately passed. But no, I do not believe that woman. I never have from the get-go. I've been following this case since Harmony's been missing for forever. There was signs on the interstate in Manchester, like huge billboards. I mean, it's horrible. But no, she's not credible.
No, she's not. She's
No.
not.
She's just doing whatever it takes to get her out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if old grandmeth isn't brought in, because she saw things.
Of who?
Kayla's mother.
Kayla's mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because she had quite a testimony from her porch, but the way she's taking care of the kids, you know, and I've been told by several people that I'm way off mark on her. You know, she's a hardworking woman. She's taking care of these kids. She won't.
But she enabled Kayla.
She did. Oh, she did. You can't deny that. And so for those that are wondering about the apartment and the refrigerator, let's look at this real quick. And of course, I'm going to stop it in between because this is a very important part of the case.
Journal says investigators have finished their search of a home in Manchester in connection with the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. A team of investigators spent all day yesterday searching an apartment Harmony's father and stepmother previously lived in the Union Street home. Officials were seen taking evidence from the area, including a refrigerator, which they had brought in earlier in the day. Harmony was reported missing last year, but she has not been seen since 2019.
Tonight, we're hearing from the
And they took a lot out.
Yeah, they look through the sewer drains too on that area, that street too.
Yep.
But no, here's the thing. So Adam said in either an interrogation or one of his interviews at Wolf Park or whatever, he said that his two kids and him and Kayla, they got, like, the house on Guilford Street got foreclosed or whatever. They had to leave. So then they were living in their cars. And then at some point he said that Harmony didn't go with them to Chris's house, aka Kayla's mom. And then after, like, the two kids and Kayla and Adam went to Chris's house, I think after that is when they got the Union Street apartment, because this was long after, like, they were living in their cars and stuff. But like this is years ago, obviously. This wasn't like last year. But so that's where I get confused, because if he's telling the truth there, Harmony never lived in that Union Street apartment. So, like, where would he have been keeping her?
Exactly. That was my confusion too.
Well, that's my question too, but her remains were at some point in that house, in that apartment, because she was killed in December.
Right. Well, I mean, she wasn't at there was no evidence at the Guilford Street house. So, like, could it have happened in the car? Because that's just very odd to me. But.
Well, Kayla's mother, she's the one that really changed the timeline. And she explains a lot of it. But I mean, she says the 30th of December to December 10th, she thinks something happened there. Let's look at her interview, because she said way more than she realized she was saying.
Yeah.
And she has made her choices, and that's all I can say. I'm just asking you, just for the children's sake, I do pray for Harmony, and I did have something come to me today for the police that I thought may help, which I did tell the police I'm not going to give that out yet because I don't want to hinder it in any way. Just please.
When did you see Harmony?
It was, I knew it was in the wintertime. I wasn't exactly sure when. And when I spoke with my daughter, she was telling me it was a day after Thanksgiving. Okay.
That last year in 2020 or 2021?
No, that was in 2019.
Okay, because our understanding was she hadn't been seen since October. Then after this interview, and hats off to Jeffrey Hastings, the timeline got narrowed because we did a show, Susan and I did, about how we have a new timeline. And you know how I am around here about time. Time is everything. And she narrowed it down.
Did you ever ask your daughter where she was after that? That you never saw her again? Well, she told me that because they came here the end of December during the holidays, and they were here briefly. I asked her, I'm like, well, I expected Harmony to do them, and they said no. And I know they've been kind of living on the streets and in a car kind of thing. And well, she didn't say no. She said she's with her mother. And I didn't question it because I didn't know until all the news, the history of the family. And Adam, for the first couple of years, was some sweet guy, and he's not. He is pure evil. He is pure evil. So I hope.
Okay, Teardrop is pure evil. So when your daughter is living on the streets with a guy, he's not a prince. He's not a good guy. So I don't know what her mother was thinking. My daughter's living on the streets in a car with her kids.
Mm-hmm.
That does not make him a good guy. That is a lazy bum.
The teardrop would have been my first inkling of that.
Yeah.
Even I know what that means. Ugh.
Let me ask all the parents in here. If your daughter shows up and says, I'm living in the car
with the
kids, here's my man. He's got a teardrop made with Bic ink from the jail on his face. What do you think? What would you do? My God.
Eddie, I really, really hope the information that came to me today that can help with the search for Harmony. And that's really where my prayers are now, because my grandchildren will be with me, so I'm not going to be worried about them. And just please respect the privacy.
Yeah.
This is so scary for
Do you think
children.
Do you think Harmony's still alive?
I hope and pray she's still alive, but it's been 2 years. So I don't know.
You got to be heartbroken over this.
I'm distraught. My body's been shaking every couple hours because I can't get away from it. You know what I mean? I can't not check the news. I want to know what's going on, and I have spoken to police several times.
Do you think your daughter had any involvement in her disappearance?
Kayla told me that, just as in her affidavit, and I drilled my daughter. Believe me, I asked. With her history, yeah, she used to be a liar, but I know how to get the truth out of my daughter. The youngest daughter.
And she said, I know how to get the truth out of my daughter. I know how to get the truth out of my daughter. The hell you do? You've enabled her. You've enabled step meth. You've enabled step meth. And there is no reason for you to say, I know how to get the truth out of her, because it took a governor's report, several detectives, and the attorney general to give her a plea deal just to tell him Harmony's dead.
Yeah.
And this is after they found biological evidence. I mean, I wonder how everyone felt when they saw all of those people coming out of that Union Street apartment in hazmat suits because they detected human remains in there.
Our daughter wasn't born yet, and Harmony was with him. We dropped her off at work, and he said to her, I am bringing Harmony to her mother. And then he came back later. I don't know how many hours. I don't know that. She was working at a Dunkin' Donuts. I've given all that information to the police, but Kayla said, where is he? She didn't say where she is, but I don't know. I'm so confused right now.
And when do you think that happened?
In my mind, from what I've tried to gather, and all the media has been great with trying to get all the information out there, and the social media I thought has been great too. But I think it happened like in a week period, and I think it happened from December 6th till prior to December 6th. So,
okay, this to me is what really changed the trajectory of the case, because we were originally told October of 2019. Okay, of course, nobody would know. And so when Kayla's mother is talking, stepmother's mother is talking, we call her grandmother sometimes, which is probably unfair because you can tell she got drug into this.
Yeah.
When she says it was
Fair.
the last day of the month, the 30th rings out to me, probably because she got her benefits. And
Yeah.
then she says prior to December 6th, and then she gives a smaller timeline. And then what do the affidavits say? She died December 7th. How
That's
does
a-
that work out? Go ahead, Sabrina.
I don't know. I don't think Kayla told her mom. I don't think anybody told Kayla's mother. I don't think they told anybody about Harmony when like this stuff was happening, honestly, because I feel like at least one person would have spoken up. There's got to be like at least one good person. I mean, Jesus. But nah, I don't think Kayla's mother is like had a hand in any of this. I don't think she's guilty of anything, obviously. I think she just got drug in because it's her daughter.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But she knows something went on that week. Either stepmeth was acting different, or she realized stepmeth didn't really have the job at Dunkin' Donuts. Something got her to these precise dates.
Yeah, because that was proven that Kayla was lying about going to work.
Yeah, so she figured that out on her own because she's like, something happened there.
Yeah, December 6th, anytime after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving is December 6th. So it's like, there's the 30th of the month, so it's like 6 to 7 days. So I think something happened in that week, and I don't know what day. I asked the police if they checked my daughter's records, because my children are brought up where they have to tell the truth and they have to fess up. And my daughter has broken every time for me in the past. And I said to her, and I said to her, and I said to her, I said, are you sure? I said, what couple doesn't communicate about this and so forth? And I know those are the questions out there. My daughter does have a good heart, but I don't know what her part was on this, but I do believe her. She's staying very, very consistent in what she's saying. And I can tell by her, I'm her mom, I can tell.
So that whole drop off, you're saying that's between Thanksgiving, December 6th,
Day after Thanksgiving and before December 6th.
2019.
Yes.
Okay, she said between Thanksgiving and December 6th. The affidavits say that Harmony was killed on December 7th, on or about. We already know that she lied about working at Dunkin' Donuts. How far is it? I heard 20 minutes from Lowell, Massachusetts to Manchester, New Hampshire. So why would it take the better part of a week to get Harmony down to Crystal, which we know never happened?
What was going on that stuck out in her mind?
Something through this week stuck in her mind. She knew something that week was going on.
I don't think she was thinking that Harmony was gonna get murdered, though. I'm just trying to be
You have to be a psychopath to think something like that. No, you would have to be a psychopath to think something like that. I mean, if someone says, no, I took her back to her mother, you're like, oh, okay. You don't think anything of it. But then when the child hasn't been seen in 2 years, you go, now hang on, something about that week was weird. And she remembers dates.
Yeah.
I mean, we have cases where people lose blocks of time. They can't tell you if it was morning, afternoon, or night, but she remembers dates from years ago. She knew something with that week did not set right with her, and she was correct.
And what's the significance of December 6th that makes that date stick in your head?
That day was reminded to me by my daughter because they were homeless and they needed a place to come. And I said, well, I don't really have a room, my landlord. So they were just here during the holiday, during that time.
You said Adam is the devil. Why do you say that?
He can sweet talk and swindle like he did with us for the 2 years. And then everything he points the finger at everybody else and talks up quite the storm. And it's a lot of, he talks like jail talk. That's all I can
What
say.
about abuse? The allegation yesterday was he was abusive towards Harmony.
I don't know about that because I didn't have much when she
There's people that have come forward and said that they've seen Harmony in 2020, that they've either hugged her or given her something.
That's Crystal's sister. That's
Yeah.
Crystal's sister who is out of her mind. Nobody came forward and said they have seen Harmony in 2020 and bought her a Halloween costume. I didn't mean for this to pop up, but since we see it anyway, let's go ahead and watch it.
The aunt of Harmony Montgomery says Harmony's mom 2 weeks ago met with an employee of a New Hampshire dollar store where the child secretly warned the clerk that Adam and his wife Kayla Montgomery changed the girl's name.
She whispered to the lady, she said, "My name's Harmony." I'm sorry, it just makes me upset. Think about it.
This is something Crystal made up, okay? Crystal made this up and she told her sister, and her sister got a hold of the news. This did not happen, okay? I'll do a $2,500 daily double for shit that never happened, Susan. What do you think, Sabrina? Because we know she could not have possibly been alive.
Right. No. I honestly don't know. I haven't been focusing much on Crystal. I've been focusing on Adam mainly because his like court stuff and everything, and Kayla. I don't feel like Crystal is a part of this, as in like the murder stuff. I don't support Crystal, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to her side of the family, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I got you. I got you. It's kind of a moot point because she didn't murder Harmony.
Right.
She's part of what she points the finger at because she failed her daughter.
Right.
And that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And it just stuck to her.
The family went to police.
She was shaken up. She was scared. She was nervous. She was, crying.
The store encounter was early 2020. The store employee now keeps in touch about the missing Harmony.
And Adam came to the store and told the lady, "Stop asking questions to my family." So that's the last tip we've got so far. But they named her Ansley. They kept saying her name was Ansley. And she said, "My name is Harmony." And she whispered it to the lady. And
Reacting to that scathing Office of Child Advocate report, Harmony's mother texted News Center 5, "For me, it just goes to show how badly they failed my daughter."
She's out of her mind. You're telling me that Crystal never made the 20-minute drive from Lowell, Mass. Up to Manchester, New Hampshire for 2 years to see her daughter, but now she's Inspector Gadget and she goes to a dollar store that happened to see Harmony, and Harmony happened to talk to a customer and tell the customer that her new name was Ansley.
Yeah, it's a crock of shit.
No, you're right, Sabrina.
Yep.
You've got to be kidding me. Sluggy Sleuth said Crystal knew where she was. She knew where they lived. And she was 20 minutes away. Susan, we can't hear you again. You're going to have to move closer to the router.
Well, no. Manchester to Lowell is like an hour.
Oh,
How's that?
You're good now, girlfriend. So it's an hour from Lowell to Manchester?
I mean, it's like 45 minutes, but there's usually traffic. So, yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it's not Portland, Oregon, New York City.
Right.
She can get there in a day.
No, I know.
Wasn't that about the time that she brought up her lawsuit?
Yeah, which isn't going to happen because she will never make it through discovery.
Another grifter.
Sluggy Sleuth said about 25 miles away from each other, Crystal hung in Manchester all the time, and that is a proven fact. So she goes to Manchester often to see friends and family, but then she cries wolf and says nobody would help her find Harmony when she knew exactly where she lived.
Yeah, she's full of shit.
How convenient.
Hell, me and Susan could be there in a day. We'd take turns driving.
I'm up.
I never missed a visit. Child custody to Adam, that was not a good idea. He is a violent person.
The lady did Halloween costume or something that Harmony wanted, and Kayla wouldn't get it for her. Whatever we need to do, we're holding out hope she's still here, and we just can bring her home to a safe space where everybody loves her.
Okay. If Adam is so violent and so abusive, why did Kayla live in a vehicle with him and their 2 children? Like, wouldn't she be afraid that he would harm her children, their children?
I know.
Why wouldn't she just go live with her mother or a shelter? There's so many shelters in Manchester.
That's what I want to know too. And I do believe Teardrop is violent. Why didn't Crystal, instead of going to visit her sister, why didn't she file a petition with family court for emergency custody of Harmony and say, I've got to get her away from him?
Right.
He didn't lose rights. Everybody had chess piece to play, but nobody played the right one because they didn't care.
Every adult failed her. And it's just so sad.
Disgusting.
Look at her little smile.
You know, literally, she's so cute, and it's just I don't understand.
I don't either, Sabrina.
To the Attorney General and the Chief of Police, let's take a second to think about Harmony. Horrible.
Horrible. Poor baby.
Nasty, selfish people.
Why hasn't Kayla said like where she is though? Like she's just saying like what happened to her, quote unquote, but she hasn't said where she is.
I think she's holding that under her hat. I really do, because he had to have mentioned where he went. I mean, where was his phone on December 7th? They can check phone pings. Did she have the phone?
I heard that they like had a ton of cell phones, like burner phones and stuff. And when he got arrested, he said he didn't even have a phone and that it was a friend's.
He didn't have a phone when he was arrested?
Well, no, he did, but he claimed it was his friend's phone.
Oh.
But it could very well be.
Go ahead. When they were doing that interview, it sure looked like he was texting under the table.
Oh, no. No, they would not let cell phones in there. Hell no. They definitely checked him down before they talked to him. I mean,
absolutely.
Good afternoon. I'm Attorney General John Formella, and I'm joined today by Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg. We're here today to provide an update regarding the ongoing investigation into the 2019 disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. Back in January, we announced that then 5-year-old Harmony likely disappeared sometime between November 28th and December 10th of 2019. Since that announcement, members of my office, members of the Manchester Police Department, the U.S. Marshal Service, the FBI, and other law enforcement partners have been diligently continuing to work this case. In total, these agencies working together have devoted thousands of hours gathering evidence and pursuing numerous leads. All of these efforts have led us to conclude that Harmony Montgomery was murdered in Manchester in early December of 2019. At this point, while Harmony's remains have not yet been located, we do have multiple sources of investigative information, including just recently confirmed biological evidence that have led us to this difficult and tragic conclusion. As a result, today I am announcing that this is now officially a homicide investigation, and that our investigators will continue to seek justice and look into the circumstances of Harmony's murder and search for her remains. We understand that this is truly devastating news for Harmony's family, friends, and loved ones, and our hearts go out to them. This is also devastating news for the city of Manchester, for our state, and all who have followed this story. Our work now turns to getting justice for Harmony and all those who loved her. In a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg, but before I do, I just want to acknowledge the tireless work that the Manchester Police Department has put into this difficult and truly heartbreaking case. We have much work left to do, but I think everyone would join me in thanking the chief and his team for their efforts thus far. I also want to acknowledge the work of Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill from my office, who is here today. He's worked closely with Chief Aldenberg, the Manchester Police Department, and all of our law enforcement partners in this investigation. And there is much work left to come. Chief.
Thank you, General. Good afternoon. As the Chief of Police for the City of Manchester, I'm beyond saddened that we stand here today to announce that the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery is now officially a homicide investigation. As I stated from the beginning of this investigation and throughout, every effort has been made to bring Harmony home to her family. Our commitment to bringing Harmony home has not wavered, nor will it. Bringing Harmony home will continue to be the #1 priority of the Manchester Police Department. I want to take a moment to publicly thank the Manchester Police Department detectives and New Hampshire Attorney General's office for their steadfast commitment and dedication to this investigation. There have been many detectives assigned to this investigation, and I'm grateful to all of them. But I want to specifically recognize Captain Sean Layton, Captain Matt LaRochelle, Sergeant Jamie Cavari, who could not be here today, Detective Jack Dunleavy, Detective Scott Riley, and Detective Max Rahill, as well as Deputy U.S. Marshal Billy Tufts, who's here as well. I thank all of them for their tireless work thus far in this investigation. I am grateful for the compassion and dedication that they've given to this investigation over the past 8 months. They've experienced many ups and downs, many moments of frustration and sadness along the way, but they've remained focused and remained undeterred as they enter the next phase of this investigation. I feel it's important to recognize these true professionals, as their job is an extremely difficult one. It is even more difficult when investigating the homicide of a sweet and innocent 8-year-old girl. It is equally important for me to recognize the professionalism and commitment of Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill. Attorney O'Neill has been part of this investigation from day one, and he has not wavered one bit. I am personally grateful to Attorney O'Neill for the guidance and counsel he has provided me along the way. He is a consummate professional, and the state of New Hampshire should be thankful for having such an individual seeking justice for Harmony. So thank you, Jesse. It is not often that a public official takes a moment to thank the media, but I feel it's important to do so. I specifically want to extend my gratitude to WMUR and Fox Boston for continuously keeping Harmony's story at the forefront. Both outlets and many others did so with compassion and professionalism, and for that I say thank you. I know that over the past 8 months that there have been many discussions, speculation, and questions relative to where the system failed Harmony. And I myself continue to share the same concerns and still have many remaining questions. However, the homicide of this little girl rests with the person or persons who committed this horrific act. The Manchester Police Department will do everything within the limits of the law to ensure that the responsible person or persons for the murder of Harmony are brought to justice. As always, I encourage members of the public to continue to use the dedicated tip line should they have any information at all that would assist us in locating Harmony or any information that they feel is relevant to this investigation. The dedicated tip line has, the dedicated tip line number is 603-203-6060. Again, that number is 603-203-6060. As I said from the beginning, I maintain the stance that there are people out there in the community that have information about this investigation who have yet to come forward. If you are that person, pay attention and be careful. If you are that person, I implore you to do so now and come forward. I'm not asking you to do it for me, for the people in this room, the people that have been working this investigation. Do it for this little girl who's on the screen. The time is now. Time to step up and do the right thing. Make the call to that tip line or contact the Manchester Police Department any way you see fit. Harmony is a sweet and innocent child who deserves to be brought home to her family and friends. Thank you. General?
Thank you, Chief. Thank you again to your department, your team, and all of our law enforcement partners for their assistance in this investigation. Before we close, I just want to take one more opportunity to express my deepest sympathies to Harmony's family, friends, and loved ones. But cases like this that involve young children and young girls like this are especially difficult. We have a lot of work ahead. For being here today.
Breaking.
Horrible. Horrible.
I think they care more than anyone.
I just loved the chief there. I just,
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason I refuse to believe that the police would never go check on her, is because when they got the call that a child could not be found, they were right on it.
Yeah.
They started arresting left and right, went after the welfare system, the CPS system. The governor in Massachusetts got a letter from the governor in New Hampshire. It just goes on and on. Susan, I want to thank you.
Not a problem, girl.
I want to thank you. You are one of my best friends. You know I adore you.
And I love you.
And I love you, and your tireless research, passion, everything you have for Harmony is never forgotten.
She's such a pretty little thing. I mean, how could you not?
Because you have been on this since, the minute it broke the headlines. Sabrina, thank you for coming up. We're nice. We don't bite. And I love your state, Sabrina. It's gorgeous. And
Yeah.
I congratulate you guys for everything you're doing to change the child protective services nationwide. Good going. And I love your state's motto.
Live free or die.
Live free or die. Good on you. New Hampshire is a champion of the Northeast. I'm not going to lie. You guys stand alone in what you do. And I want to thank all of you for being here today for Harmony. We have a lot of work still to do. We got to continue to keep her case out there. I'm going to play her video one more time, and then I'm going to close it down. I also want to thank Carol Claus for $5 for OJ's Bacon, Elmer for the super sticker, Sluggy Sleuth for the super sticker, Tamara for the super sticker, multiple gift memberships. Use those wisely because we have a birthday party coming up. Don't forget about Harmony. Don't forget about us because we're all friends here. You guys are the best. You have a great rest of your day. Mod Squad, can't do it without you. Love you all, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning. We're actually going to have 2 shows tomorrow. So buckle up. And don't forget to tell everyone on the way out, happy birthday to Rexy.
Happy birthday, Rexy. Bye, guys.
Happy birthday, Rexy.